Yo, phone ring Tuesday, voice smooth as in lease agreement. Tone warm, words chosen, all the right words in the right arrangement. Something in the syntax though, a gap between the offer and the meanings. The way the sentence ended was a door left open on the ceiling. You can't walk through, that's the design, the invitation's ornamental. The smile is a credential, sense, trust me, says I'm fundamental to your next move, and it's true, that's not the way they're saying. Fundamental to the next move that they're making while you're praying. Yeah, smiling faces. Smiling faces sometimes, not sometimes. Smiling faces, smiling faces sometimes. Tell lies, not sometimes, always. A smile, there's never the face. Beware the pat on the back, topography and misdirection. The hand that rests between your shoulders knows the exact direction of every nerve. The pat says well done while it's waiting. The architecture of your trust, that's the data that it's feeding. Back to the one who's sending. The smile is a surveillance tool, makes you lower your perimeter. Every warm face is a vestibule to the room you didn't know existed. The one behind the greeting, where the meaning about you already had its seat. And I don't deal in paranoia, I deal in pattern recognition. Every smile I've cataloged has confirmed the same position. The walk is the mechanism, not the message, not the bond. The smile is the hand they show, the other hand's already gone. Yeah, smiling faces sometimes. Smiling. Held and cut. Smiling faces, smiling. Smiling faces sometimes. Tell lies, not sometimes. Always, the smile was never the fade. Count the cost, not in drama, in the actual arithmetic. 3 months of access to decisions that were asymmetric. To my benefit, the math was running underneath the old time. Every dinner was a deduction, every introduction a gold mine. For the one who wore the smile, I was a line item in the budget I was never shown. That's the system. The smile runs on the assumption that you'll never do the numbers, that you'll stay warm inside the gesture while the other one blunders. I did the numbers, came out clear, facing the intention. We're never in the same sentence, that's not a lesson, that's a tension between what I already knew and chose to override for access. Smiling faces, I smile back, that was my tag, that's the regulars, yeah. Part of me that wanted to believe the warmth was structural. It wasn't, it was tactical, and I was the inaugural mistake I made. The second time I read the room correctly. Smiling faces sometimes, I say sometimes, but directly. Meaning every single one I've met has had the same address. The smile lives at the corner of the need and the finesse. Smiling faces, that's the cruelty. That's the cruelty. This all. Wake up everybody, the world needs repairing. 50 years of saying that and still nobody's caring. Enough to change the infrastructure, change the architecture of the thing that needs to change, and we keep changing the lecture. Teachers need to teach a new curriculum. The old one was a tool for manufacturing consent in every schoolroom. No more running backwards while the world is running forward. The signal's been transmitting, who's been guarding the recording? Wake up and stay up, that's the part they always skip. Waking up and going back is just a different kind of trip. The dream they keep you in is renovated every season. New distractions, same address, that's the reason. Wake up everybody. Wake up, no more backward running. Wake up, no more backward running. A world been burning, nobody's coming. The classroom ceiling tiles still falling in the same zip codes. The hospital an hour away, the bridge still overloads. The river's still not drinkable, the study's been completed. The study and the river both been shelved, the data deleted. From the policy discussion, wake up means pay attention to the thing they're doing while you're watching their intention. Perform itself on camera, the performance is the product they are selling you. The broadcast of the fire while it's locked in your neighborhood. Wake up means follow the specifics, dollar not the speech.
The dollar is prolific in its honesty. It goes exactly where the mouth won't follow the allocation. That's the clock, and it don't lie. Wake up everybody, not a metaphor, a mandate. The world is on a schedule that was set before your birthday. Wake up, wake up, wake up, everybody. Wake up, no more backward running. Up and body, nobody's coming. Wake up, no more backward running. Up and burning, nobody's coming. No more backward means no more comfortable wrong. No more singing the same problem inside the same song. Without the second verse that says, and here's what changes. The waking up without the getting up just rearranges the furniture inside the burning building. Wake up everybody means the doctor and the teacher and the body of community assembled with a purpose, not a posture. The broadcast has been running, we've been our own imposter, performing wakefulness while sleeping in committee. The alarm has been the ringtone of a generation's pity for itself on past pity. I'm at purpose, I'm at the wire. Wake up everybody means get up and actually retire. The version of yourself that watches become the one that moves. The broadcast needs a body, not an audience. Those are the rules of the world that's being built without you. If you stay asleep, wake up, stay up or hand the frequency to the ones who keep it running. The ones already up since before the alarm. They've been awake, they're tired, and they kept it warm. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, everybody. Wake up, no more backward running. Rope and burning, nobody's coming. Wake up, no more backward running. Rope and burning, nobody's hurting. Wake up, wake up, everybody. Wake up. Living for the city. 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 Living for the city, living for itself. He came from somewhere with a suitcase and a plan. Third floor, walk up, $40 in his hand. The man at the desk said sign here. He signed the lease at 17 clauses. He had a deadline. The city welcomed him the way a net welcomes a catch. Open, accommodating, patient for the latch to close. He didn't see the geometry of the room. He saw the window and the light. He didn't see the tomb. He got a job that Thursday, the kind that pays just enough to keep the math from being your whole days, but close enough to make you stay. That's the calculation the city runs on people who mistook it for a destination. Yeah. Living for the city. Living for the city. Living for the city. Living for the city. City living for itself. He was the resource. The city was the shelf. City living for itself. 6 months and the original plan has been revised. Twice the cost of the revision wasn't advertised. He sent money home the first month, didn't the second. Third month, something in his posture changed, I reckon. Later what I saw was the adjustment period. The moment when the city starts to colonize the skin. The atonement for the hope you brought begins. You pay it in ambition. First, then in sleep, then in the original vision of yourself. The city takes inventory, keeps what's useful, returns the rest, change, that's the renewal cycle. Every season a new class arrives at the same address, signs the same lease, looks at the same window when the city says yes. Come in and the yes is architectural, a yes that is a gate that opens inward, looks like welcome, functions like a wait. Living for the city. Living for the city. Living for the city. Living for the city. City living for itself. He was the resource. The city was the shelf. City living for itself. I saw him 3 years later at the same corner store. He looked like someone who would give him back a little more than they received. The exchange rate had been running against him since the lease. The city doesn't stop us running. For the ledger to be read, the city is not interested in the settler, only in the settling. That's what's registered. He had a look of someone who had made the peace, not the good kind, the kind that comes when the arguing has to cease. Because the argument costs more than the loss. He done the math, accepted it, that was the cost. He smiled when I said his name. The smile was real, just smaller than the one he brought. That's the deal. The city gave him something. I won't say it gave him nothing, but the something that it gave him wasn't the something he carried in that suitcase. The something got converted into the city's currency, and he was left with the deserted version of the plan. Living for the city means the city was the one doing the living, and the man was the inventory. Living for the city. Living for the city. For the city. Living
for the city, city living for itself. Living for the city. Living for the city. Living.
Prepare the room, they move the room. New address in committee, different faces and criteria. Criteria designed for the city. They're already built, not the one I'm building, the one they're protecting from the thing I represent. My presence is the thing they're rejecting, not the work. The work they use just attributed to someone who came in on a Thursday. Fits the frame, that's the outcome of the audition that was scheduled. So the schedule looked inclusive, the conclusion was already written. The audition was the ruse, it's a formality, a courtesy slot, a box to tick on the diversity appendix. That's the trick. Don't call us, they mean don't call us. They mean specifically don't call, because we will not pick. That's not ambiguity, yeah. Don't call us. Don't call us. Don't call us, we'll call you, they meant never. And we both knew it. The smile was just the weather. We both knew it. The smile was just the weather. Don't call us, we'll call you, they meant never. The gate has a theory built before the keeper was born, passed down like vocabulary. The same words worn into institutional habit. It's not malice at this point, it's fluency. They speak exclusion at the joint, where the jaw meets the brain. The reflex is the history, dressed as professionalism. The criteria is mystery when you meet it. Cultural fitting, alignment, vision, alignment. Translation, you reminded them of something outside their assignment of comfort. Don't call us as a comfort maintenance call. The gatekeeper maintains the gate because without the wall, they have no gate. Without the gate, they have no title. My entering doesn't just challenge them, it's a recital of everything the gate was built to prevent. My standing in the room is the argument they've been expanding their whole career to avoid. Don't call us mean, don't make us say the quiet part. Those are the scenes they're most afraid of, their own mouth forming the actual reason. That's why it's always cultural fit. That phrase does all the treason. Don't call us. Don't call us. Don't call us, we'll call you, they meant never. And we both knew it. The smile was just the weather. We both knew it. The smile was just the weather. I stopped calling, that's not defeat, that's reallocation of the hours I was spending on their validation station. I moved the frequency, built the room they were protecting, and invited only people who understood the work. The gate only matters if the thing behind it is the only thing. Scatter the thing behind it, replicate it. The gate becomes an entrance to an empty building. That's the Psalms, don't call us fine. I call the ones who've been told the same. We built something on the other side, still got no frame on their wall, and that's exactly right. The frame was the trap, the warning of the frame. That's the game, we'll call you, they never did. The phone stayed quiet, and in the quiet I found out I didn't need the diet of their approval. I had been on it for so long, I forgot what I tasted like. Don't call us, that song set me free. The rejection letter was the only honest thing they ever sent me. No return address for everything. Don't call us. Keep call us. Don't call us, we'll call you, they meant never. And we both knew it. The smile was just the weather. We both knew it. The smile was just the weather. Don't call us. Don't call us. How the motherfuckers on it to the mock plane. The motherfuckers out of to my train. The motherfuckers out of to my train. The motherfuckers out of to my train. No matter how hard you try, You can't stop it now, that line's been true since before there was a mic to say it through. The message from a black man is not new, it's ancient. It predates the format, predates every patient's test has been put through. The message survived the middle passage, survived the auction block, survived the public savage age, dressed as civilization, survived the legal architecture designed to make it unsayable, became the literature they now teach in the universities that didn't want the sender. The message is the tenure now, the message is the gender of the whole conversation. It's the foundation frequency, whether you tune in or not, that's the permanence, yeah. Message from a black man. Message from a black man. Message from a black man. You will hear it, you will hear it, you will hear it. Message from a black man. Message from a black message from a black man. You will hear it, you will hear it, you will hear it, you will hear it. The message moves, they build a wall. The message moves around it, they build a ceiling. The message goes beneath it, found it in the underground. That's the record you're holding, the dispatch. From the frequency they try to scratch out of the archive, try to file it under irrelevant. Try to dilute it until the evidence of its origin dissolve. We are the origin, the message and the sender are the same thing. Discipline of repetition is how it survives. Said it again in every generation, said it with the pen, with the body, with the music, with the silence of refusal. Every black man who refused to disappear is the renewal of the message. I'm standing at the current junction of a long wire, adding my portion to the signal, that's the choir that never needed a cathedral, sang in fields and cells. The message from a black man is the message history tells. Yeah, message from a black man. Message from a black man. Message from a black man. You will hear it, you will hear it, you will hear it. Message from a black man. Message from a black man. Message from a black man. You will hear it, you will hear it, you will hear it, you will hear it. Whether you receive it is your business. The document is file regardless. History is not consensual, it's permanent. The message confers itself on the record, and the record has a longer memory than the discord of the institution that tried to make it smaller. I'm speaking to the future, same way the past spoke to me. Caller to caller, across the gap, across the attempt to disconnect the tree from the root held. I'm the effect of everyone who held. I'm the spelled out version of the testimony. No more running, no more dispersion into silence, no more asking for the stage. We built the rafters and the stage and the whole page. This is the message from a black man, present tense, not historical, not theoretical, not past intense and current and permanent and not going quiet. The message has been running since before the riot. Yeah. Message from a black man. Message from a black man. Message from a black man. You will hear it, you will hear it, you will hear it. Message from a black man. 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 You will hear it, you will hear it, you will hear it, you will hear it, you will hear it. For the motherfuckers that I do my trade. For the motherfuckers that I do my trade. For the motherfuckers that I do my trade. For the motherfuckers that I do my trade.
The door, that's the first thing that you notice. The courtesy is load bearing, part of how the process works. The ruthless people never arrive announcing it. They arrive as the solution to the problem. That's the summit of the craft, to make your interest indistinguishable from the other person's interest. The distinguishable gap between them is where the extraction happens. In the small print of the warmth, that's where the captain of the operation lies. Between the handshake and the deal, between the dinner and the morning, between the ideal he presented and the clause he wrote into the side agreement. Ruthless is a methodology, what you're seeing is the treatment. Ruthless, 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 ruthless people. They've always been in the building. Ruthless, ruthless, pattern, they identify the thing you need. They flatten the path to it through themselves. They become the bridge that you need to cross to get there. That's the ridge they build between you and the thing. The bridge has a toll, paid in access, paid in trust, paid in the whole architecture of your operation being visible to them before it's visible to you. That's the stratagem. They need your map before you know you're lost. They need to be your compass first. That's the cost. The ruthless people are not lacking feeling. That's the myth. They feel everything. They've just decided to work with. The feeling is instrument, not God. The difference between the ruthless and the rest is the indifference. They cultivated toward a collateral, the warm body adjacent to the asset. Human being as somebody else's column entry. The ruthless don't see monsters. When they look in the mirror, they see sponsors. Ruthless, 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 ruthless.
They've always been in the building.
Ruthless,
They've always been in the building.
Count what they took and don't call it loss. Call it education. The tuition was your trust, and the graduation is this: the ability to name the thing precisely without the anger clouding it. I say ruthless constantly, not as a character attack, as a job description. The ruthless people have a function in the system. They are the system's teeth, not the system's exception. Every structure that extracts has them. That's the reception committee of the machine. They welcome you inside and process you. The ruthless people didn't decide to be the mechanism. They were selected by the structure for the role. The structure needs a face, needs a rupture. That looks like opportunity. The ruthless people are the opportunity that isn't. That's the sequel to every story that begins with a door held open. The door was held so you could see the room, not enter. That's the token of the ruthless methodology. Visible access, functional exclusion. I name it clearly now. That's the conclusion. Ruthless people. Ruthless people. Ruthless people. Ruthless people.
Why get jobs? Said it's the same as the intro. It's still in the room.
Walks one final phrase, knows exactly where it's going. Cold cut mid-bar. The portrait is complete.
Three letters, that's 50 people, get 50 definitions. Most of them are someone else's, borrowed from the traditions of people who needed the word to mean a specific thing. For a specific moment, the word is load bearing for the person using it, and the load is different depending on where they started. Free is indifferent to your particular circumstance. It doesn't adjust itself to the distance you traveled. The word lives on a shelf that everyone can see. Reaching it is the variable. The shelf is the same height, the ladder is carryable or not, depending on what's already in your hands. Free first to find what's holding you, then make your plans. Yeah.
Free, what does it mean when you have to ask?
It means the word was never given to you.
You inherited the task.
Screens support these levels everything.
Free, so what does it mean when you have to ask?
The people who talk loudest about freedom rarely paid for it with anything that hurt. The freedom they're afraid of it being taken is a freedom they were given. That's the distinction between the free and the freed. That's the diction. Matters free as a state versus freed as a process. The process has a body count, has a witness, has a forest of graves that grew the tree, that grew the shade, that the comfortable stand under when they say they're not afraid of losing what they have. They're very much afraid, and the fear is the tell. The free people made the freedom out of something that was taken from them first. The ones who were given it are afraid of the reverse. That's the map. Free means something completely different depending on which side of the taking you've been sent.
What does it mean when you have to ask? The word was never given to you.
before the context and the history and the zip codes attach themselves, before the Monday and the math of what it costs to move through spaces on a certain path. There's a moment, it's brief, between the sleep and the waking, where I'm just a person in the body, no accounting, no taking stock of what's old and what's been spent, just the ceiling and the breath that's free, that's the feeling, before the day comes in with its invoice. I hold it, that moment longer every year. I'm told it gets better and I believe it, because the moment lasts a few more seconds than it did, that's the forecast. Yeah, free is not a destination, it's a direction you face every morning and take 2 steps and no correction needed for the path, just the facing, just the choosing to face it again. That's the free I'm pursuing, not the billboard version, not the declaration, not the speech. The 2 seconds in the morning before the day arrives, that's the reach.
What does it mean when you have to ask? Means the word was never given. You inherited the tide. What does it mean when you have to ask?
It was Van knows the Lord. It was Van knows the Lord.
Yo, in the cipher, the rotation is the education. Each position teaches the occupation of the space between bars is the calibration of your instrument. Breath, timing, articulation. I came up in the era when the bar was a measurement, not just a line. The pleasurement was in the architecture, the interior of a 16, the anterior of a 16, the anterior and posterior rhyme scheme running simultaneously. Rakim built cathedrals, I studied the masonry. Big pun stacked syllables like he was daring gravity. I took notes. The craft has a legacy, and legacy requires the living to extend it. Every bar right is a semester, I defend it in the cipher, where the only grade is whether heads nod, whether the internal rhyme lands before the period. Call it God.
The cipher. The cipher. Keeps moving, don't stop. Every voice adds something. The cipher is the sum. The cipher. Beach. Moving. Something. The cipher is the sum.
Rotate positions, observation, and participation. The cipher's a curriculum without administration. No registrar, no tuition, no graduation ceremony, just a daily demonstration of what you know. The cipher separates the study from the surface. The ones who showed up for the moment versus those whose purpose is the work itself. The difference lands in bar 3 of any verse. By then the room has already read the degree of your commitment. I've been committed since the first loop. I heard on a borrowed tape with a broken tooth that kept rewinding. I took it as instruction, rewind until you hear the thing inside the thing. That's the fine. Every beat producer, whoever moved the room, started in the silence between the kick and snare. That's the island where the whole thing lived. The cipher taught me that. You learn by standing in the circle, step up. That's the map. Yeah.
This is the moment. Live. This cipher. Each. Moving. Don't stop. You refuse us add something. The cipher is the sum. Live. This cipher. Each. Moving. You us add something.
The cipher is a living thing. It breathes and it requires feeding with presence, with the bars, with the reading that you did before you stepped. The cipher smells preparation, and it's opposite. The room adjusts its expectation based on what you bring. I bring the excavated thing. I found 3 levels underneath the surface. That's the ring, a truth that the deep dig produces. Most MCs work the topsoil. I'm in the bedrock on my knees with the tools the architects left. They left them on purpose. The craft is a transmission. Every technique on the surface has a deeper version underneath. I found the ladder in the space between the kick and snare. It doesn't matter what the genre call itself. The cipher predates the name. Wherever people gathered in a circle with the same protocol, you turn your truth, your full capacity offered. The cipher returns what you put in. That's the coffin.
The cipher.
The cipher keeps moving, don't stop. It was here something deciphered is the sum. The cipher keeps moving. It was here something deciphered is the sum. The big move for moving. It was here big move for on. It was here something. The ball on rap. Ball on rap. Borrow time, I knew it when she stopped saying good morning first. The silence at breakfast has a grammar, you learn to parse the worst version of it from the better ones. This one said inventory has been taken, the math doesn't clear. That's the story of every relationship that ends. Before it ends, there's a period in the middle. Everybody pretends it's a comma, but the punctuation shifted 2 months back. The borrowed time is the distance between knowing and the fact. Being made official, I've lived in that distance long enough to map it. It has a specific resistance to honesty, because honesty ends the borrowing, and the borrowing is comfortable even when it's hollowing you out. The borrowed time is a payday loan on the emotional economy. The interest compounds the devotional energy you put in after the period is debt, not investment. I learned it later than I should have, that's the lesson. Yeah. Borrowed time, borrowed time. We're all living on borrowed time. The question is what you're doing with the loan. Borrowed time, borrowed time, borrowed time. We're all living on borrowed time. The question is what you're doing with the loan. The naked blunts on borrowed time. The signs are architectural. First the coffee shop with the font that's symmetrical and scattered naked, and then the gallery with nothing in the window that costs less than a mortgage. Then the long, slow disappearance of the faces that built the block. I watched it happen in real time. I kept the doc of every business that closed between 2080 and now. The barbershop, the West Indian bakery. The how of it was always the same. Lease didn't renew. The landlord found a better offer. That's the residue of a neighborhood that got discovered by the people who needed somewhere authentic to be near. The steeple of the church, the soul is now a boutique hotel. The congregation moved to the suburbs. That's the bell tolling on borrowed time. The clock was always a developer's timeline. Out of communities, the borrow was never mine to sign. We're all living on borrowed time. The question is what you're doing with the loan. Borrowed time, borrowed time. I borrowed time. We're all living on borrowed time. The question is what you're doing with the loan. Borrowed time personal. My grandfather worked 30 years in a factory that gave him a pension and a set of gears in his lungs that nobody named until the settlement. 3 years after retirement, borrowed time meant something specific to him. The doctor gave a number. He spent it finishing the things he put to slumber. During the working years, the garden, the correspondence with people he'd been meaning to. The respondents of his better self that the factory hours had deferred. Borrowed time for him was permission. That's the word I carried. The knowledge that the clock is running isn't paralysis. It's the most clarifying, stunning fact available. Borrowed time means spend it right, not carefully right. The difference is the light. You point at what matters. My grandfather taught me that. 3 years of borrowed time, he came back. Borrowed time, 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 borrowed time. Borrowed time.
Front Street, meaning everything visible, the curated version of the self that moves through rooms. The excursion into public life requires a costume that fits the venue. I've been dressing for the room since I learned the menu of expectations. What this space requires is the posture, the register, the careful roster of what you share and what you keep for after the room clears out. I've mastered the rafter smile, the one that reaches just far enough to read is genuine. I made it from the stuff of actual warmth, just deployed strategically. The Front Street version of me moves gracefully through every space that wasn't built with me in mind. That makes it look like ease, that's the grind. Nobody sees the performance, it's only a performance if the audience knows it is. That's the floor sense, yeah. Front Street. Front Street, Front Street, Front Street. Everything on display, except the thing that cost the most. What it costs, the Front Street tax is paid in the evening when the door closes and the body starts retrieving all the energy it lent to the presentation. The reclamation is slow, that's the taxation. Rate on performing adequacy in spaces that required your excellence and gave you half the places. At the table, I've done the math. A ROI on assimilation is negative past a certain point. The calculation changes when you're always fronting more than you're receiving. The account depletes, the Front Street keeps on needing deposits you don't have. I've been overdrawn in rooms that didn't notice. That's a specific bloom of exhaustion that has no name in the medical literature, because the people writing the literature never had to perform their legitimacy on arrival. The Front Street tax is the price of survival, call it tribal. Front Street. Front Street, Front Street, Front Street. Everything on display, except the thing that cost the most. At some point the choice arrives, keep the front or put it down. The putting down is terrifying. The crown you built is also a weight. I know both from the inside. The Front Street version is efficient. It's a guidebook for the terrain, but the private version is the actual person, and the actual person has a right to the dispersion of their full energy into rooms that receive it whole. Not the edited version, not the controlled deployment of the self. I'm building toward the room where the two versions run together. No costume required. Where the front and the interior of the line, that room exists. I've been in it briefly, that's the sign that it's available. Not as a permanent address yet, but as a coordinate I visited. That's the mindset. Front Street taught me what I'm building. Away from the private cost, clarify the destination. That's the song. Front Street. Front Street, Front Street, Front Street, Front Street. Everything on display, except the thing that costs the most. That stays back.
Heavy last note. Heavy last note. Heavy last note. Heavy last note. Heavy last note.
Iron in the spine, the posture of the people who were told to bend it didn't. The extension of the will beyond the end. The comfort iron in the jaw that stays closed in the room. We're open and it costs more than silence, that's the room. Temperature check, I've been iron since the temperature required it. The manufacture of the character happened in the pressure. Everybody knows the metaphor, but few discuss the actual pressure. What the atmosphere feels like at that depth, a specific weight of being the only one in the room and being great. Despite that, not because of it, iron doesn't need the audience. It forms in private, that's the creed of everyone who carried more than was assigned to them and kept the stride. The iron is the diagram of a life built under pressure. Find the cross section, you'll find iron where they thought they'd find the question. I carry iron in the archive of every slight that tried to define me, refine me instead. The grind became the fine. See, the pressure was a process that the pressure didn't know it was. Running every stumbling block became the cause of something sturdier. I'm iron in the dictionary sense, meaning strong, hard, and flexible. When the defense of something worth defending is required. A mind in the poetic sense, meaning the quiet one who's trying to show you through the life, not tell you through the sermon. I'm iron in the literal sense, the
confirmed fact of a character tested in conditions that would soften anything with less history. I've worn the iron often as a burden. I wear it now as infrastructure, the load-bearing wall of the self. The lecture I give in private is the bars of the iron applied to language. That's the assignment I've been trying.
Yeah.
Iron will, iron curtain, iron cross, iron lung. The word does heavy lifting in every tongue. It's ever appeared in iron because the element is honest. It doesn't pretend to be gold. That's the promise of everything real. It shows you what it is. The weight is the feature, not the flaw. The biz of living with integrity is iron economics. Heavy up front, appreciating, that's the comics. Opposite of the thing, iron doesn't depreciate. It oxidizes into something new. Appropriate metaphor for everyone who thought the rust was ruined. It was transformation. The iron was still doing its work just at the molecular level. Trust the process is iron language. The promise and the progress is that the pressure always had a product. That's the ledger. Iron in, iron out. That's the vector.
Every last note on. Every line. Every last note on.
Before the static there was signal, clean and purposeful. The transmission was a language, merciful in its specificity. The block talked to the block through the music from the window and the knock. That meant a specific thing depending on the tempo. The grandmother on the third floor was the central node of the network. Information moved through a kitchen table that's approved. Infrastructure in the technical sense, decentralized, redundant, resilient, recognized by everyone who lived inside it. The signal was the community talking to itself, the vigil. A mutual knowledge, who needs what, who has what, who's in trouble, who got out, who's making cuts. In the family budget, the signal carried all of it. Before the static arrived, before the benefit.
Yeah.
Signal.
Signal.
Is anyone receive? The signal never stops.
Signal.
Like it in guitar. Signal. Singing in guitar. Is anyone receive? The signal never stops.
The static arrived as policy. That's the technical term for what disrupts a functioning network. The firm conviction of the planners was the highway through the center of the neighborhood. The bypass was the entry. Point for everything that followed. Displacement dressed as progress. Urban renewal was the signal's first congress. With interference, the network got scattered, nodes relocated. The grandmother's kitchen table got estate sale liquidated, and the information network went with it. That's the cost of what they call renewal. The signal got lost in the translation from community to development zone. The interference benefits the ones who need you alone. And unnetworked, a connected community is harder to displace. The signal is the charter of resistance, which is why the static was designed to arrive first, break the network, then redefine.
Signal.
Signal. Is anyone receive? The signal never stops.
Signal. Signal.
Is anyone receive? The signal never stops.
But here's the thing about a signal, it doesn't require a mission to transmit. The interference is a condition, not a termination. The signal underneath the static of every broken neighborhood is pragmatic and alive. I've heard it in the barbershop that survived the development, the one that got repriced and tried to close and didn't, because the barber understood he wasn't cutting hair, he was the node he should be studied. I've heard the signal in the group chat that replaced the grandmother's table. The new format is different, the frequency is the same. Community and transmission, that's the name of the signal. It adapts the medium but keeps the message. Every generation rebuilds the network, that's the lesson. The static is a temporary condition, the signal is structural. It predates the interference, it's the cultural.
The ledger opens with the label, unpaid, pre-1865, run the compound interest, that's the bottom line. Before you add a single thing that came after, reparations conversation dies in the laughter of people who inherit the estate and decline the accounting. The ledger doesn't care about declining the mounting. Interest is a mathematical fact, not a political position. I'm not asking for an apology, I'm asking for addition and subtraction. What was taken, what was paid, the balance. The ledger shows the talent of the accounting classes in the omission, not the fiction. They keep accurate books, the mission is to keep them in a language that the creditors don't read. The ledger exists, the question is who has the deed to the archive, because the archive is the argument that ends the conversation they've been managing. Ledger, ledger also open. Ledger also open. Ledger also open. The accounting class keeps two sets. That's the first lesson in forensic economics. The public version shows a balanced book. The private one shows the real distribution of the asset and the deal. That was made before the public version got printed. The ledger of the commons, who's been minuted from the public wealth, the infrastructure built by tax, from every worker who was never shown the facts of their contribution to the accumulated capital. The hospital, the university, the lateral road network, the port, all of it built on the pooled resource of generations who were told to stay the course. And now there's question about the distribution of return. The ledger shows the questions that the questioners couldn't earn. The right to ask in the rooms where the books were kept. I'm reading from the version that was never swept. Ledger books are open. Ledger books are open. Ledger books are open. Ledger books are open. Here is the ledger in its plainest presentation. Column 1 extracted, column 2 the nation built on the extraction. Column 3 distributed to whom? Run the totals, that's the argument in the room that nobody will have, because the totals are embarrassing to the heirs of the extraction. The harassing of history into a story of self-made men requires the erasure of the column. And when I say erasure, I mean active, meaning someone chose to close the ledger to the creditors. That's prose, not poetry. The decision has a meeting attached, a room, a date, a resolution. That's the fact. The ledger is the most radical document available, because it turns the story from the inevitable natural order of things into a set of choices made by specific people, and choices can be remade. Ledger books are open. Ledger calculation complete. Ledger books are open. Ledger books are open. Ledger books are open. Ledger books are open. Ledger
Ledger books are open.
Every monument is a choice, that's where the conversation starts. Not with the marble, with the meeting where they chose the parts of the story worth solidifying into permanent material. Criterion is always the same, the imperial narrative requires its heroes to be specific types. The monument selection is the editing of rights out of the historical record. Who gets the plaque in the public square tells you who wrote the almanac. I walked through every major city's monument district and read the names and noted who was listed in the stone and who was not. The absence is the data, the empty plinth is louder than the greatest orator. Because the empty plinth means someone decided that the person who belonged there was misguided. Enough in their resistance to the order to not merit. Stone, the monument, is the official edit. Monuments, monuments, the best monuments.
The right one's got the sign.
Monuments, monuments, the monuments, but there's also a monument.
The right one's got the silence.
Monuments of the mix. The counter monument is everything not in the square. The midwife who delivered 3 generations of her chair. At the kitchen table is a monument unregistered in any civic record. The carpenter who engineered the church that still stands, his name is not on the cornerstone. The teacher who produced the generation alone in a classroom that the district underfunded. Her monument is every student who went further than the document said they would. The monument is the life that exceeded the prediction every time the evidence conceded that a person from the zip code couldn't, and they did. That's the counter monument, unlit, unkid, napped by the official record, but permanent in a different registry. The one the relevant community keeps without instruction. Oral living, transmitting the telling, that's the monument worth giving. Monuments, monuments, monuments.
The monuments scratch the sound.
Monuments, monuments, monuments. So your most monuments, monuments.
The right one's got the silence.
The living monument is the one that moves, that's the upgrade. From stone, the woman in the front pew every Sunday. For 40 years who never missed the collection plate. Despite is a monument to something to debate about. Faith can't touch the man who showed up every morning to the job that showed him nothing. Cup half full was a technology he developed in the dark before anyone called it resilience. That's the spark. The living monument carries not the stone carved quote, the daily unremarked decision to devote another day to the thing worth doing. That's the plaque, written in conduct. I'm trying to write mine in the track record. Every bar is an application for the register that the official record missed. The minister of the unofficial archive is the cipher is the bar. The living monument is everywhere, that's what we are. Yeah. Monuments, monuments, monuments.
The right one's got the silence.
Monuments, monuments, monuments. So the most monuments, old monuments, monuments.
The right one's got the silence.
Monuments, monuments. So the most.
floor, the window faces east. He's been up since 4, not insomnia, something older the hour before. The city remembers it, his people in it. The specific quiet that belongs to no one and everyone. He's learned to buy it with sleep. The trade is worth it. 30 minutes of the city before it becomes itself. He's in it at the window with a cup that's gone cold. He hasn't noticed the cold. He's watching the light change. That's the solstice of small daily ritual. The light moves the same direction every time. He finds that reliable. Most things don't hold a line the way the light does. He collects these, the reliables, the window ritual, the cup, the pliables of routine that hold the shape of a day. Before the day decides what it is, he stays at the window until the city starts its noise. Then steps back, that's the whole practice, that's the poise.
Still water, still held long and cut. Still water run. Deep.
I came to stillness the hard way, not the retreat. The workshop, not the breath work. The specific defeat of watching everything I thought was permanent prove it wasn't the impermanent. Taught me more than the stable ever did. Every loss was a subtraction that got rid of the unnecessary. I didn't know it was unnecessary until it was gone, and the space it left was commentary on how much room I had been filling with the noise of maintenance relationships that were full-time poise of holding something broken in position. I set them down, not all at once, one by one the town. But my interior got quieter over years, not emptier, quieter. That's the frontier between stillness and absence. I live on the still side, barely, but that's where I live. That's the inside. Yeah.
Still water,
Still held long then cut. Still held long then cut.
still water run. Deep.
The still took work, I'm not going to romanticize years of the opposite, the noise that franchises itself across every hour if you let it. I let it for longer than I should have. The debt was in the body, tension stored in specific coordinates. The jaw, the shoulders, the elaborate machinery of a man in permanent defense. Posture, I wore it so long it became the tense. I lived in present but anticipating the flinch before the blow. The practice inch between relaxed and ready. I lived in that inch for a decade. The work was the unlatch, not the letting go. The letting go is the outcome, not the practice. The practice is becoming familiar with the feeling of safety long enough to stop testing it. That's the work, that's the stuff. Yeah.
Still water
isn't water that forgot how to move. It's water that has moved enough to find a groove of its own level. The lake is not passive, it's the river after the work. The massive energy of a thing that has completed its descent and found a place it was always meant to occupy. I'm not there yet, I'm in the descent still, but I know the direction now, the intent. As level as the window at 5 a.m. is the cup gone cold that I haven't noticed. Is the cup itself as a practice, the ritual that says I'm still here. I made it to another day, the phase of the light that I've been studying for years. Without a name for the study, it appears every morning regardless. That's the thing about still water, it receives the light without deciding what it's for. Yeah.
Chop, 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 chop.